Good morning, early birds. Good evening, night owls. Happy lunchtime to you, the best in the business. This is After Dinner Chats, where we loosen the tie, unbutton the top button, and let the ideas breathe. And this episode is different. Tim Burrowes, my 10th guest, dared me to do it. Interview yourself, he said. So here we are, two Jameses for the price of one. Episode 15. Please welcome me. Thank you, James. I've heard wonderful things about you. Likewise, I'm told you're punctual and partial to pudding. Let's begin, as we always do. News nibbles. Last time, Audrey Boissimo, guest number 14, informed us with devastating calm that the French has essentially cancelled Easter Monday. Well, what's your off-the-wall item this week? Have you heard of LignoSat? The world's first wooden satellite. Yeah, it's back. LignoSat 2. I love it. A literal tree hugger in space. It's elegant, low-tech, solving a high-tech problem, space junk. With lessons learned from their first attempt, Kyoto University scientists hope a second CubeSat made of magnolia, yes, made of magnolia, will spark an age of wooden spacecraft. It's a reminder that Mo, guest number 13, pointed out about Puma. When they built the goal at Tower Bridge, instead of faking it with CGI. In a deep fake era, the thing is, we need to be more real. And it echoes Paddy Gilmore, our guest number 11. When brands don't need to just stand up, they need to be clever and honest. And as my WPP colleagues often say, it's time to move beyond identity-only thinking. Space junk is bad data in orbit. Yes, I just said that. Space junk is bad data in orbit. LignoSat is a design fix that prevents rubbish at the source. Speaking of fixing rubbish, our show's North Star is helping people get ripped off less. How are you actually doing that? How am I helping people get ripped off less? Well, ripped off less is really about helping people get more value, right? So I've got three hats. One's a slightly scuffed trilby, one's a dinner party fedora, and one's a podcast beret. Hat number one, the consultant at WPP. So my role in the consultancy division is to promote growth. And in our business, we're in the business of eliminating waste. As Deborah Gabadamosi said, she was guest number 3. She nailed it when she talked about truth sets, giving your data a quality score and stop bin firing budget. But now we're pushing further towards intelligence beyond identity. So with the Open Intelligence product, we use federated learning and security data bunkers. Think remote distributed clean rooms. We query data where it lives, say a retailer's loyalty program like Tesco Clubcard, without moving it. Privacy safe, commercially sane, reduced waste at the source. So it's the opposite of hiring a removal van for your data. Is that what you're saying? So the questions travel and the data stays at home. Precisely. It's pattern finding without puddle splashing. A CPG sees creative audience signals, the retailer sees SKU lift and basket effects, and nobody swaps raw PII, and yet both see the truth. We optimize spend, creative, and retail media in one loop. That's how you get ripped off less. And with Cindy Rose now at WPP, any tailwind? Massive tailwind, as you put it. Clear priorities, practical cadence, less theatre, more throughput. It's like the carpenter, measure twice, cut once, which in this market is a relief. Now let me come on to hat number 2, the event organizer for the next dinner party. I guess we help people getting ripped off less by a bad career move. Our first guest, Julia Linehan, said it best. People are the lifeblood of our industry. So we curate rooms where conversation outruns PowerPoint. Our guest number 9, Philippa White, wrote a book called The Return on Humanity. Well, that's what we see in action. The humanity in the room, getting people together to discuss what comes next. And there's a commercial drumbeat here too, because whilst the business, our collective business, is a $350 billion data services opportunity, it won't be unlocked in a Zoom or with a PowerPoint presentation. It's unlocked over a fine meal, unstructured chats that build trust. Can you give us a quick win story? A quick win story. What about publisher chief meets a startup founder? They map a leaky funnel on the napkin. Literally, and 6 months later, global partnership, multi-million-dollar revenue, and a napkin framed on one of their walls. The ROI of glassware and good questions. Okay, that's a slight exaggeration of what happened with Patrick and Fern. But hey, it's your podcast. So, James, I don't think they'll be listening anyway. Okay, so what's your best dinner party mishap? Best dinner party mishap? Oh, the seating plan catastrophe. We should have had place guards, but I never do. And we had two rivals elbow to elbow. I braced for Armageddon. They ended up designing a joint plan together over dessert. And also, I think it's the pro tip from John Walsh, guest number 2 of the WhatsApp community fame and also of jobsinadtech.com. You put the quiet geniuses in the noisiest corners, and the room does the rest. So, moving on to hat number 3, the podcast host. The idea of these podcasts is to turn complicated capabilities into plain English. So, the 5th guest we had is James Breeze, is training AI from his personal manifesto, which I love. Or Claire Gleason-Landry, our 8th guest, talks about sustainability that actually scales. And Dilip Shukla, our 7th guest, with Reset, he's measuring emotion so you can fix an ad before it bores somebody into submission. It's the audio version of a menu of services, marketing effectiveness and custom AI solutions and first-party data strategy, all that. But it translates into outcomes so clients know what to ask for. All right, it's time for high five. No waffling. Your first high five, number 1, your hero. My hero. Do you know, my heroes are the brand strategists who take the ordinary and make it extraordinary. It's when you see a kid and they say that their favorite color is neon blue rather than just blue. It's that bit that just makes things stand out and makes you want more of it. There's people like the late, great Charlie Robertson, the founder of Red Spider. I loved working with him. He's a genius man and a really exciting person to work with who can see how to make things go from good to great. But there are other people who are also, heroes of mine that I would love to hear more about and love to follow. I mean, Rob Campbell in New Zealand is another one who really takes good to great. And he also has a wonderful way of writing. Do follow him on LinkedIn. All right, what's your best decision? My best decision has to be starting the next dinner party. It was a perfect thing at a perfect time when I was living in Australia and needed to get to know more people. And then it's turned into a great way of meeting people in a way that stands out, in a way that you actually get a chance to hear what people think off the record. What's your worst decision? Oh, worst decision? I think it's nurturing an idea past its sell-by date. Our guest number 6, Chris Pyle, warned about kill your darlings kindly, then quickly. And I do think that sometimes we hang on to things for too long, but I'm not going to tell you what it was that I hung on for a bit too long, but then I managed to go stopping this and moved on because life's sweet right now. Okay, so what's your funniest moment? Funny moments I found on this podcast have been really hard to scale. Some people have hated answering it. Some people have talked about their most fun moment. The one that stands out for me was Sheetal Thakur's moment when she was at the Edinburgh Fringe. Yes, our guest number 12 talked about the naked performance. And to this day, I can't pass a theatre leaflet rack without giggling. So one more guest you'd like to have at the table and then have on a podcast. Well, it was Mo, the 13th guest, who mentioned Mark Pritchard and his rallying cry on transparency. Yeah, I'd love to have Mark Pritchard to a dinner and then have him on the podcast, but I don't have a path into that. But going back to my heroes comment, wouldn't it be great to have the heroes that you've had as the brand strategists, the account planners that you've never really had, get them to come in? So, for example, starting with, there are 2 that come to mind. One, I've not met. Steve Walls is based over in Switzerland, I think, but gee, he's a sharp writer. I'd love to have him. I reckon he'd be a feisty one to have at a dinner table. And the other one is Adam Morgan of Eating the Big Fish fame, who was on Cannes the last couple of years, who was on stages at Cannes talking about the extraordinary cost of dull. Those are two I think I would love to have at a dinner table in due course. Well, that, friends, is how we get ripped off less. James, you've been a delight. Well, James, you were pretty good too. I have to say, on this occasion, the host was exceptional, handsome, incisive, and didn't interrupt too much. Thank you very much. If you've enjoyed tonight, please do follow, rate, share, and next time we're back to our usual format. One guest, one chair, few identity crises. Thank you.
This episode is brought to you by jobsandadtech.com, the only jobs board dedicated to digital media and the ad tech industry. If you're hiring now, use promo code JWPOD, JWPOD, for a 10% discount on any package. Jobsandadtech.com, it's where ad techers go to find their next role.
I reckon my worst decision might be listening to Tim Burrowes suggesting that we do this interview with each other or with myself or with these two personalities. That is a little bit weird.